It's not hard to see the world crumbling around me. You are now tuning in to the Red Blizzard 357 show. And if you know like I know, just look at the title. And this is not a religion type of conversation that we're going to have. It's not really about religion. So you could be Muslim, you could be Jewish, Christian, Buddhist. Doesn't matter what doctrine you choose to follow. It's just an overall comparison, an overall conversation to a common problem in the modern world, metaphorically speaking. And a lot of the texts in these different religious books are similar regarding the serpent and Eve. But my point is basically this. Even today, in your overall interactions with modern women, especially women from the community, and you can tell by interacting with them. If you think about the biblical scriptures about Adam and Eve, and the serpent talking to Eve, and naturally you tend to think, okay, that happened then, and it created a snowball effect of things that's transpiring now. But if you really look at how some of these females are moving, you can pretty much see. I mean, it's very vivid. It's like 4K TV, 3D right in front of you. Who said the serpent ever stopped talking to these dames? You look at the one woman in the video tearing up computers and equipment at the airport because she lost track of her kids. And of course, you know, it's not her fault. I mean, you can never blame them. It's the computer's fault. The computer had a certain glare beaming off the screen that was irritating to her, so she had to attack it because the computer was assaulting her first. What, you guys didn't know? And you sit and you think to yourself, damn, what has happened to the world? Why is everything upside down? How is it so easy for them to turn a fact, something that's actual fact, reality that's right in front of you, you can see it, touch it, smell it. How are they able to disregard all of that and replace that with a lie and anoint that lie as the truth and the fact? How is that being accepted in this world today? And this ain't even about the Tory Lanez case. That's just one in a million. The serpent is still talking to them. Can't you tell? Still whispering in their ear. Now this article just popped up. I was just surfing the web just on this Christmas morning. And to everybody out there that celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas. Whatever holiday or religious doctrine you practice, whatever you usually do on Christmas Day, good day to you too. Happy holidays, whatever your slice of bread is. Butter it your way. But welcome. So look at this article. The caption: live fearlessly, become invincible, discover what you're capable of. Usually what they're capable of comes to the detriment of a man. Any elevated position that they might find themselves in was given to them by a man. For the sake of argument, let's say it was a woman. Who hired her? Who owns the company? More times than not, I say like 97.5% of the time, it's a man. But what they're capable of, you can view it in many different aspects. Because they're capable of destroying your life if you let them. If you just sit back and do nothing, if you're asleep at the wheel, sleep at the switch. So this is obviously advertising a book, basically encouraging modern women behavior, bad behavior. Live fearlessly. Who picks up the pieces when they live fearlessly? Who has to, fix whatever issues and problems they get themselves into because they're living fearlessly, and naturally they view accountability as a foreign language. They do not speak it. So someone has to clean up the mess they made while they're living fearlessly and thinking they're invincible. Because in their mind, that's the world. That's the reality they're thinking. Meanwhile, the man that has to clean it all up is not viewing it that way. That man does not have a smile on his face whatsoever. Doesn't have a smile on his face whatsoever. So let's read some of this. The Women Gone Wild book is for the women who agree at a deep soul level to be there, to be here at this stage in history to lead this global shift that the teachers from the past have predicted, which is the return of the mother and the rise of the feminine. Already in the title, feminist talking points and encouragement, co-signing. Be quiet. Don't be so provocative. Stop being so emotional. Don't dress like that. That's not a woman's job. Fit in, smile, don't be bossy. Now, I guess they're saying, of course, that's what we be telling them. And now they view these things as offensive, of course, because in a feminist mind, everything, anything, and everything a man says that they don't like is offensive. The only thing that we can say that they will like and agree with is something that benefits them. Never accountability, no. No. If we hold them accountable for anything, they don't like it. You are oppressing me. Believe all women. This is what they say. But if you got a lot of women walking around here lying, then okay. You want us to believe all women, then we believe all women are liars. How about that? Do you want to break free? Question mark. See, they view us as imprisoning them when they can't just go out and live fearlessly, as they say, which translate into living recklessly until somebody has to come along and save them. More times than not, it's a man, because when they call their friends to come and save them, if they're thinking on the same time, all they're going to do is come to the situation and bring more chaos to it, because they're coming to argue, even if their friend was blatantly wrong. Well, why are you holding her like that? Yeah, I know she broke the law and all that. Why you handcuffing her, though? You don't have to handcuff her. Oh, yeah, I know according to the law, she for this infraction, she should go to jail and be locked up. But why are you actually doing it? Gee, I don't know. Because everybody that does it has to suffer the same consequences, has to be held accountable for what they just did. I mean, gee, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. But no, they don't want to listen to that. No, of course not. Because if they can't live free and they can't live their best life, then a man is oppressing them. It's the man's fault. I want to be free. Don't oppress me. Live authentically. Have a life filled with meaning and purpose. Sadly to say, a lot of them, their purpose is to fuck up a man's life, or to suck him dry, or to attempt to. And then ironically, for the brothers that's SYSBMing, they claim they don't care, and they glad they're gone. And you hear some of these video clips of them saying, "Hey, well, I'll even chip in and buy your ticket for you to fly over there." And come on. First of all, men is flying over there don't need your money to get over there. We can do that on our own. That's number one. Number two, why are you watching these comments and these videos of brothers expressing themselves when you can just flip right by it? You can just skim right by it and move on and do whatever you were doing. But nah. I'd rather get on the internet and explain to these guys why I don't care why they're SYSBM, and yes, you do. You care. That gaslight and reverse psychology shit don't work. Never has. You can't tap me on the opposite shoulder and have me look the other way while you standing next to me. That does not work. That's what we're about. We are leaders. That's a lie. Guides, coaches, and shamans who have freed themselves from the ordinary and chosen the extraordinary. Whether you want to chase your dreams, learn how to live authentically, or get inspired, let us show you can get there. Society teaches you to be invisible, to not show up as your authentic self. Do you have enough? Because we do. Very vapid statement. So self-absorbed. A lot of these women, there's no room for anybody but themselves with the amount of narcissism that they develop over time, from the Barbie doll era to the teenage stage to the young adult stage in their 20s, when they're hopping on pogo sticks left and right. They're just so vapid. You can just hear it in the article, just reading these little snippets. And they got their little book or whatever. We can create magic together, one wild story at a time. So I'm not advertising their stuff or nothing like that. I'm just painting a picture of, one of many, the mindset of modern women today. And what has contributed to the destruction of this country as a whole. Because it's bleeding into politics, it's bleeding into lawmaking. It's bleeding into the child support system. Where their complaints is, well, all this money that it takes to raise this kid and this and that, I should be able to buy luxury items. I should be able to buy a Gucci bag, Chanel bag, and I should be able to spend $400 on my hair, my nails, and stuff like that. That money's not for that. See, if you're going to do that, and I've always said this, there should be a special debit card distributed from the state. If it's going to go down like that, cool. And on that card, you can only purchase certain things on that card. That's for the child. Nothing else. No luxury, none of that other stuff. Basic necessities. That's the original intent and purpose for child support anyway. And before somebody get on here talking crazy, this and that, I'm not on child support. Have I been on it before? Yeah. Yes, I have. And I was in my son's life the whole time. It's typical bitter baby mama-ish. Everything was fine while I was single. But the minute she found out I was got married, all of a sudden, okay, child support papers come. But if I had stayed single, wouldn't have been no problem. See, these are the type of games people play with the child support system. It's a whole bunch of games woven into the fabric of the whole structure of the child support system. Family court, all that shit. And I'm going to be honest with you. My son is 22 years old. And he's the only child I have. That whole that whole incident, the whole situation like there mentally scarred me to the point where I didn't even want any more kids because of that whole ordeal. I was like, you know what? If I ever get married again, me and my wife would have one. But I even changed my mind on that. I ain't gonna front. Because my cutoff was gonna be like 33. If it, you know, if it don't happen by 33, I'm good. No, I take that back. It wasn't 33. It was what was the cutoff was 36. It was 36. After 36, I was done. No more kids, no matter what. But see how that the system being used as a weapon against men will start making men deviate and think differently about the whole dynamic of marriage and having kids, and all because women want to live fearlessly and not listen to anybody and not be accountable to anybody. That's one acting out point that's detrimental to society. Then you have the women that use children as pawns in a game. Dad wants to see the child. The woman says, no, you can't see the child without talking to me. Well, I got to talk to you. Just have him ready at the front door. I ring the door. He come out. There's no need for you to even, all you should be there for is to open the door. Child walks out. You close the door. Lock the door. Period. There's nothing for us to talk about. I'll text you, call you when I'm bringing him back. If he doesn't have his own key. If she doesn't have her own key. If the child has their own key, there's no need for you to talk to the father anyway. But of course, there's always an excuse for that, right? And I know somewhere out there in this vast land that we live in called America, I know it's a lot of you brothers out there, a lot of you men out there that can relate. You either went through it or you're currently going through it. And I'm willing to bet during the time that you came across your baby mama, she was probably out there living her life just like this article is advocating. She probably felt some man oppressed her and she's out living her best life now. Hot girl summer done changed into a cold girl winter real fast, didn't it? Went from twerking and shaking their naked asses in the street in the heat to huddling up in the corner of an igloo trying to stay warm because winter came in and slapped their ass in the face real hard. That's why they hated Kevin so much. Because he damn sure pointed it out. But of course, they didn't want to listen. See, once you say something they don't like and they view it as an insult, anything and everything you say after that, their ears go numb. They can't comprehend. They can't compute what you're saying. They still mad at the insult or what they perceived as an insult, not realizing what was said would actually help them if they truly want to help. But a lot of them are agents of chaos. This is why they put out articles and books like this to encourage future women and current women and younger women to do the same thing. Because once they get to the point where they know they can no longer attract the guys that they want, they blatantly, subconsciously, or however you want to put it, directly or indirectly, try to get younger women to do the same thing. They try to sabotage younger women's prospects and opportunities to have a happy relationship, have a happy marriage, build a family. And the projections that they come with. I mean, you look at the quote, be quiet, don't be so provocative, stop being so emotional, don't dress like that. That's not a woman's job. Fit in, smile, don't be bossy. First of all, there's nothing wrong with anything that's said right there. If a man told her that it was in her best interest to help her. See, what they don't want, they want to be loud and obnoxious, a lot of them, especially in the community. They want to be loud and obnoxious and boisterous. Have you ever been somewhere like in a store or even walking down the street, or like in the big cities, you got the subway. You ever been on a subway, on a train, or a bus? And these broads be talking on the phone, and you be wondering, are they actually talking to the person on the phone or everybody around them in the train, car, or on the bus? You ever wonder why do you have to be that loud with your conversation? I mean, at that point, you kind of know it's an attention grab. Because are all of y'all hard of hearing? Y'all friends and relatives, are they all hard of hearing? Because microphones on cell phones are generally, even the cheap cell phones, are pretty damn good. You do not have to yell in them. But they do anyway, because they don't give a fuck about who they talking to on the phone. Nah. They want to know who's looking at them while they're talking. And if she catches eye contact, if she catches eye contact with somebody looking at her while she's talking, oh, that's going to be an argument right there. Because any attention is better than no attention. A lot of them will be hurt to the core if everybody just ignored the hell out of them. Like, okay, yeah, you talking loud, this and that, and everybody just pretend like she didn't exist. That'd be like rubbing sandpaper on her nerves. They can't stand that. Just like the bonnet brigade. They know that shit is trashy looking and lazy looking, going outside wearing that. Now they doing it on purpose just to act out, and because they know men don't like that. So now they doing it just for the simple fact of, in their mind, pissing men off. But then down the line, those are going to be the same ones that turn around asking where the good men gone. Why I can't find a good man? You ran them off because you want to act out. You want to be independent and boisterous, loud and obnoxious. You want to wear bonnets in public to look trashy and lazy. No, I'm doing it to cover my hair. That's not your hair. You bought that. Probably still got the price tag on it. How about you nurture your own hair and grow that shit? Women used to do that back in the 70s and 80s. They used to grow their hair with, like, I don't know what kind of hair grease that was. It came in like a red and white, like a little canister. That Vaseline, and their hair used to grow long and like thick, and like it used to flow. Like, imagine wool with the flow like waves in the ocean. But somewhere down the line, they got so lazy and just, started putting all those chemicals in their shit, eating out their shit, eating their edges up. Now they just throw mops on their head. Velcro helmets. And they don't understand why men don't like that. If a man speak out against that, why you worrying about women's hair and this and that? Fair enough. Why you worried about why you can't where all the good men gone? They don't like that, but you don't care, do you? Can't have it both ways, hun. A lot of y'all gonna look real disgusting in them senior citizen homes with your BBLs and all your tattooed laden bodies all saggy. Gravity is pretty strong. Gonna be saggy and raggy. Tattoo taggy. Yeah, I just want to get on here for a minute and holler at y'all for a minute. But y'all ain't gotta believe shit I got to say. Go outside and throughout your regular life and observe the surroundings. Look at how a lot of these women carry themselves, especially in the community. Look how they carry themselves. Tell me the serpent ain't still talking to them. I'm telling you, the serpent is still talking to Eve today. In modern times that we live in. A lot of people say, you can tell when these bras be on demon time, like old girl that trashed the airport. Tell me she wasn't on demon time. Tell me the serpent wasn't whispering in her ear and shit. Yeah, bitch. Fuck this shit up. Don't let them talk to you like that. Shit, you see how she looked at you? Fuck this computer up. Show her who's boss. They the reason your kids walked off. Even though they had to use the bathroom. And they probably told you ahead of time. But you ignored them. That don't matter. Fuck this computer up. I don't care how much it costs. You don't care how much it costs either. Grab it. Grab it. That's how I'm envisioning I mean, that's how the serpent sound to me. Just telling her to tear that shit up. Yeah, do it, do it. Told me the serpent wasn't talking in the ear of the bras that murdered Shanquilla Robinson in Cabo, Mexico. Tell me that wasn't happening. Psst, 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 psst. Hey, this is what you gonna do. You gonna wait till she's at her most vulnerable point, and you gonna beat her to death. You hear me? Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Anyway, y'all, it's Christmas. I got some things to do. I'll holler at y'all. You like the content, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Spread it around. Share the videos. Hit the Cash App. $, Cobra Clutch 357.